What happens if the U.S. stops paying debt? Welcome back. Today we're talking about the scariest number in the world. No, it's not your age on your next birthday. It's the U.S. national debt. Currently, the U.S. owes about $39 trillion. That's enough money to buy every NFL team 6,000 times. Or, one very large bag of organic kale at Whole Foods. But here's the thing. The world only works because everyone believes the U.S. will pay it back. But what happens if we just don't? What happens if the U.S. stops paying its debt? Spoiler alert, it's not just a delete app situation. It's more like accidentally hitting the self-destruct button on the global economy. First, we have to talk about treasury bonds. Think of these as the gold standard of trust. Banks, pension funds, and even other countries treat these bonds like digital gold. Why? Because the U.S. has a full faith and credit clause. It's the ultimate pinky promise. If the U.S. stops paying, that safe haven becomes a haunted house. Suddenly, the most secure asset in the world is worth potentially nothing. Banks use these bonds as collateral. That's fancy talk for a security deposit, to lend money. If the collateral is trash, the lending stops. Imagine trying to buy a house, but the bank tells you they can't give you a mortgage because their own piggy bank just caught fire. That's a liquidity crisis. You might think, hey, I don't own bonds, I just want a burrito. Well, too bad. Because U.S. debt is the floor for all other interest rates. When the government becomes a risky borrower, the yields, or interest rates, spike. If the government has to pay 10% interest to borrow money, your bank isn't going to give you a 5% mortgage. They're going to charge you 15%. Your credit card interest? Sky high. That 2026 Tesla you wanted? Better start walking. A default sends borrowing costs into the stratosphere, which effectively puts the entire economy into a giant freezer. We call that a recession, but with more crying. Then there's the U.S. dollar. It's the world's reserve currency. Almost everything, oil, gold, those weird sneakers from overseas, is traded in dollars. If the U.S. defaults, the dollar's value could tank. This is a currency crisis. Suddenly, imports get way more expensive. Inflation, which we've been fighting like a final boss in a video game, comes back for a sequel nobody asked for. Plus, other countries might start looking for a new global boss, maybe the euro or the yuan, which would permanently end America's financial superpower status. It's like being the captain of the football team and suddenly being demoted to guy who cleans the Gatorade buckets. So, will it happen? Probably not. Usually, Congress does a last-minute dance called raising the debt ceiling. It's like moving the goalpost right before the kicker misses. But even a near miss can lower our credit rating and cost us billions. In short, the U.S. stopping debt payments is the economic apocalypse. So let's hope we keep paying the minimum on that giant cosmic credit card. Thanks for watching, and maybe keep a few extra burritos in the freezer, just in case.